have Synchron. So this deck is really good in terms of putting out extra deck monsters, but it does have that little caveat where you do lock yourself into Synchro. So let's just get right into what we were playing today. So first off, we'll play one copy of Quick Draw Synchron just for an extra extender and to get our stuff into graveyard, because certain cards will need to be in the graveyard in order to activate, such as Doppel Warrior and your Jet Synchron. We play 2 copies of Junk Servant for our non-tuners, because going into the deck, you need to go into 7s, 8s, and kind of 5s before you go into like any of the higher level Synchro monsters. So it's good to have Junk Servant as an extender. We have 2 copies of Stardust Synchron to special summon and get tribute fodder off the field. Next up, we play 1 copy of Stardust Trail, and then we play 2 copies of Junk Synchron, and then 2 copies of Junk Forward if we're going first. This is probably the card, if you don't go first, you'll swap this card out for one of the side deck cards, but that's pretty much it. We play 3 copies of Ash Blossom for the standard, just hand trap, and then we play 2 copies of Legal Clawcrow, because if you control a dark monster, you special this card from your hand. And then you also play 2 copies of Doppel Warrior for the tokens, as well as getting it as our target for Junk Synchron. We also play 1 copy of Satellite Synchron, and then 2 copies of Junk Converter, which allows you to discard this card and 1 sooner, then add 1 Synchron monster from your deck to your hand. So it kind of allows you to dump into the graveyard to grab your copy of Junk Synchron or another Synchron monster. So we play 3 of those. We play 1 copy of Lefty Driver, 1 copy of Jet Synchron because it's new off the ban list, 1 copy of Cyber Synchron as another target for our Junk Speeder, and then 1 copy of Righty Driver just for a generic tuner. We play also 1 copy of Converging Will Dragon. This allows you to go into your copy of Majestic Dragon a bit faster, and then we play 2 copies of Jester Confit as a extender as well for our level 1s. For our spells, we'll play 1 copy of Foolish Burial, 1 copy of Harpy's Feather Duster for back row removal, 1 copy of Monster Reborn, which really comes in handy because you will need to have something on more than 2 materials for your Synchro summons. And then we play 1 copy of Start Off Illumination, and then 3 copies of Synchro Overtake. So basically, what Synchro Overtake is good at is that you reveal 1 Synchro monster in your extra deck and then choose one of those materials whose name is listed on the card, so most likely Junk Synchron, and add it to your hand or special on the monster from your deck or graveyard. And then you play Tuning to search out your Synchron monsters, or Synchron tuners at least, and then you play 1 copy of Call by the Grave, because this deck will get Ashed most likely. You play 1 copy of Arriving Light, and then 1 copy of Scrap Iron Scarecrow, just for the gaffs, honestly, because Scrap Iron Scarecrow, no one expects this card inside 2022, so it's good to have like as a little nod and be like, oh, yeah, Scrap Iron Scarecrow, negate attack, okay. Moving on to our extra deck, we play 1 copy of Shooting Majestic Star Dragon, 1 copy of Shooting Star Dragon, 1 copy of Stardust Warrior, and then 1 copy of Satellite Warrior. So like all these little like high level ones, you should go in terms of going second, because Satellite Warrior is good at destroying your opponent's board and dealing effect damage. We also play 1 copy of Junk Destroyer just for generic targeting removal, and then we play 2 copies of Stardust Dragon to go into our copies of Shooting Star and Majestic Star Dragon. We also play 1 copy of Junk Berserker for just getting rid of defense position monsters, because Junk Berserker's effect will pop defense position monsters. So you've played Duel Links before, it's really nice. We also play 1 copy of Shooting Riser Dragon. So basically you'll go using this in using Junk Synchron and a level 4 monster, and this will allow you to go into your copies of either Shooting Star Dragon or another Stardust Warrior. We'll also play 1 copy of Stardust Assault Warrior just for the recursion, because it's a level 6, you bring it out, you're able to target 1 junk monster in your graveyard and special summon it, so you can bring back either Junk Synchron, go into a 9, or another junk monster. You could also play. I'm also playing 1 copy of Stardust Charge Warrior. What this does is that when it's Synchro Summon, you draw 1 card, so it's a good draw power in terms of like you might need it just in case to go either one. You need to draw sort of like an out, but always having good draw power is good in the side of this deck because you need more resources in your hand and graveyard. We play 1 copy of Junk Speeder to just get out all our Synchro monsters in 1 turn basically. So you use Junk Warrior, Junk Speeder. It's effect to bring out as many Synchron tuners as possible. That's why we play the Cyber tuner. And then we play 1 copy of Cell Synchron, and 1 copy of Formula, and then 1 copy of Hulk. The Hulk just gets you out your Formula, and then you can do whatever you want in terms of that later on. But you should try to go to Hulk first. For our side deck, we'll play 3 copies of Nib, 3 copies of Ghost Bell, 3 copies of Ogre, Lightning Storms, and triple attack is talent, and that's pretty much it. So look forward to the replays coming up in the next coming days, and I will catch you guys later. All right, so sayonara.